Just getting myself set up here, so if there's anyone waiting, I'll have to wait another couple seconds. Alright, just, pulling up chat and doing all that stuff. Let's update these titles too. What are we doing today? I think today is probably mob time. Alright, let's update those things. Ooh, what's a social alert? Oh, I see. I can like blast out like a couple things. Interesting. Alright, and we're going out to a bunch of places. That's looking good. Just looking for my chat app. I should really get the, is there like a restreamer client for Linux? There's a restream-get. Oh, what is that? Really asking. Okay, that's not really. Restream-get. I don't really know what that is. Shell script for sharing. The remarkable. Okay, so that's not really either. Okay, looks like we gotta do the old this thing. Oh wait, I can embed chat into my video? Oh my goodness. Let's we're gonna give it a shot. Bam! Oh. Huh. I forgot to load my drivers. Let's just do a sudo mod probe. I think. Maybe not. I don't know why it's all blank though, but we can fix it. It's just, oh, it's because I got my camera cover on. What do you know? Let me just, sorry, I gotta look around my, I got my mic set up. It's like, just off camera. Wait, can I point at it? Is that easy? Yeah, kind of. Anyway, it kind of blocks my second screen, so then I gotta kind of look around. Right, I'm gonna see if I can embed chat and if that's gonna be weird. I don't even know. So I guess this is supposed to be like here. All right, let's see. If we do add, I think I can do like embed HTML or something. Seen this before. Oh, I can embed like subscenes. Weird. How do I do stuff in here? Yeah, is that anything? I had the impression this was a kind of easy thing to do. Color source, it's not really an image. Text, VLC, video capture, window capture. I sort of want to like Google this. I just want to know if I can do it. Also, hello, random stranger of whom I cannot see. Oh, let's dump this tab over here too. Oh man, got some stuff that didn't run properly. That's fun. Let's see, I've got like Facebook just slowing down my browser. Close that. Who needs that? Am I right? Yeah, now I'm so curious. Okay, we're gonna drag this over so everyone can see sort of things I do. Tools. I was really sure there was like a thing. Oh, there's an output timer. Like, I don't know what any. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the infinite tunnel of me's in the stream. It's great, I think, but maybe not. I don't know. Oh, I have a YouTuber watching me today. Hello, YouTuber. Unless things are lying to me, which is possible. Let's see what we got over here. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, yay, mob time. That's what we're gonna do. Let's go into mob time. Mob time. And last time people were having some complaints about light mode. Whatever, you know. People like to complain about that sort of stuff sometimes, I guess. There's a media source. Can I just add a random? Yeah, that's like a little. Oh. Yeah, I'm still like curious if I can embed HTML. Like, it seems like I should be able to, but at the same time, it sort of looks like I can't. Whoa, that's not. Oh, oh well. Sometimes you just have to accept it for what it is. Yeah. Cool. I am gonna write some code, and everyone here is gonna suffer, or watch me code, which could be either way. Ooh, without even open up screen automatically for me. That's weird, but I'll accept it. Get these used right node version. All right, so we certainly should fix these tests. So let's see. First of all, I'm gonna like update the name of this. This is like build. This is really like test. And let's just don't do coverage. I'd like coverage on here, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, so we're gonna save that. And I really didn't actually want to close that, but you know, sometimes you close stuff and you realize that that's not what you want to do at all. Let's reopen that, reset that. All right, so just basically like update GitHub actions. I mean, this is like sort of not really part of this branch, but at the same time, sort of is. And I'm pretty sure all my tests pass. I was tinkering with this earlier. Oh, they don't. Okay, well that does explain it to a certain degree. Also today, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm drinking tea instead of coffee. So I already had a big thing of coffee earlier. So I'm doing what a good friend of mine would like to call Earl Grey hot. Yeah, actually a buddy of mine as a housewarming present, a very late one at that, but gave me this like Murchie's tea pack from BC, and it's pretty good. And if I'm gonna drink tea, Earl Grey is my go-to. All right. Anyway, what I want to do is I think we're gonna try and split the screen. Do that by here. You know what? We're just gonna close. We'll do a yarn test. We'll figure out what's not passing, and then we'll just kind of get it passing. Actually, I'm gonna full screen this, and I'm gonna bump up the font because I think it's a little small. Let's go with that. That seems like a pretty good size. And this one I don't really care as much, you know. Oh, nice. Hey, Wolfgang. Oh, I know your last name now because you have it on YouTube. Oh, yeah, that's okay. You can know my last name too. It's Barry. I think you already knew that though. But if you didn't, now you do. All right, so I broke a number of tests. So as a goal of my Mobtime recently, I've been trying to direct it closer to being a peer-to-peer solution. So right now I've got sort of like a dispatching WebSocket server, and all it does is like forward messages and kind of do the basic stuff. And my plan is to get it like all tested. So before this, there's basically almost no there's been almost no testing in Mobtime up until maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. And now that Mobtime is a thing used by several teams around the world, I need to make it actually a professional application now, rather than me just kind of like, I don't know, just hammering out code. Let's see. I did some changes specifically in the server, so we're just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So we got 6 tests failing, 7 files were skipped because of fast. I'm actually going to get rid of fail fast for now as well, just so I can have like a total count. We'll do fail fast false, and we'll just rerun this, and hopefully that's going to give us the full run date. Okay, so still only 6 failing tests, so that's a pretty good sign. So we see, so source, so that is our server side update, can message all users in a timer. I changed around a bit of code. I was having some issues with FERP detecting state changes in WebSockets as like socket changes, which was doing all sorts of restarts in my subscriptions, so I had to wrap them in functions, but as a result, I'm guessing some of my tests did not get updated the way I thought they were. We'll open up update, and then we're going to find specifically update test. So there's a few. The ones that ended up having, like, I'm going to say, like, branches of tests, I shoved down to, like, separate files. So on regular update, we're going to go down to line 96. Although we're also going to fix linting error as well, because you got to get that code quality up. So it can message all users in a timer. So we have some things that can make a fake connection, and that's actually outdated now because of this code. So let's see. Part of me feels like pulling this code out into a function where we can just pass it a WebSocket and a timer ID, and then I guess as owner, and we'll just default it to false. And then I just have like a nice little generator that works. That actually sounds like it. So let's do, let's call this connection.js. And we know connection, to make a connection, we kind of need this information. So we're going to do export const make a connection. We're going to pass in a WebSocket, which is the primary thing that we know about. Secondary is a timer ID associated with it. And then is owner, which we're going to default to false. Okay, we're just going to dump what was in here previously. I'm also going to go with close the source file. So we know for adding a connection, it looks like this. So we're going to import ID method from my ID utility. My naming system has been kind of awful. Ultimately, this should be something like star as ID from ID, and then do like id.make. It's been a naming convention I've been doing the last little while. It's been working out pretty well. So maybe I'll update that in this branch as well. We'll see. But we know for sure that we want our connection to have a unique ID. Right now that's just using like a math.random, because it's like a composite ID of like time ID. So it doesn't have to be super random or like secure by any means. It's not that big. And then we know, of course, the timer ID. And the WebSocket I've been wrapping in a function just to prevent that subscription restarting that I subscribed. Get WebSocket owner. Alright, and now that I have that, this actually gives me a nice little insertion point for updating my tests. So I import star as connection. We'll use a capital C though, just to make it like module case. Also, I'm gonna turn on my AC, so hopefully that's not loud. We'll see. If it's loud, let me know. From connection, I'm gonna go down to line 97, maybe 98 at this point. Yeah. All right, so we got this make connection thing. So let's see where that's being used. Way up here. All right, let's make this a little more readable, and then let's make it do the thing that we want it to do. In fact, we probably don't need this. Now that I'll just copy that so I know the order. Okay, so this would be actually connection make. Cool. And then we know we need to take in a WebSocket first. So previously we just we built in a fake WebSocket, so we'll just do that here. And then the timer ID, so it looks like it's our target timer. Then whether or not we're the owner, which probably not a big deal, so we're just going to let the defaults take care of that. And inversely, we have something that's just setting up a random timer as well. So let's see what we can do with that. Cool. Let's change this to a connection.make. And then we've got a WebSocket that we need to fake. Our timer ID. So one thing that we can do to ensure that we don't have any collisions is actually prepend the timer in here and then add something to it, so we know that there's no way they're going to be the same. And that means we can get rid of this make connection. So that's nice. And let's see, so connection.getWebSocket isn't a function. Well, now it should be. Yeah, there we go. So that solved some of our stuff. Now I'm a little curious if I search for make connection anywhere else in here. Nothing? Okay, no, that makes life a little easier. Let's see, so we're update remove connection. Oh, I need some tunes. Here I was thinking like, man, it's real quiet, and it's because I don't have anything playing in the background, so it's just weird, super weird. All right, gonna turn that on, but I'm gonna turn the volume down. There we go. Nice. Alright, so let's see. So update remove connection sets owner to the next oldest connection, which is like sort of true, I suppose. It's not completely false anyway. So we're gonna go here. So we have a make state. Alright, so this actually builds up state by like kind of looping through a bunch of things. So we don't really need effect in there. And we do use this state, but maybe we'll call this like next state. And we don't care about these effects because we're not The music that I picked is just not helping me think. I think that should be a little better though. Let's also make it a little quieter. Ah, there we go. Now I can think and program at the same time. All right, so the exact issue is on line 66. So let's kind of, again, as we go, we'll just kind of clean up any linting issues. Oops. Okay, so now we are down to line 66, and this assertion is failing. So, okay, so this is just another issue where we have a connection, but it doesn't look like a real connection. So let's do import star as connection from connection. So we got a WebSocket there, and we need a timer ID, and then we can use defaults for everything else. And then this would be a connection. Actually, this one's an owner too, so let's set that as an owner. This one is just empty WebSocket, doesn't matter. And these two should be fine now. Oh, wait, my connection code is every time I import it, skipping those files. Alright, let's try this again, because I have a suspicion we're going to go back to that other file again. Yeah, now we're back at update. Okay, I was wondering why fixing that one test fixed a bunch of errors, and I was just like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. Well. Alright, so we're going to go back to update.test now that connection's doing the thing we're expecting. So update.test.js, line 103. So I was doing a thing that was, so this code actually like executes effects as part of the test. I don't know if I like that. I think I'm gonna run into trouble with that later. Also, if you pay special attention behind me, you might enjoy a nice picture of my dog jumping up on the couch. No, he's hanging it beside me instead. Maybe next time. All right. So let's see. So can message all users in timer. So that makes sense because we don't have a .websocket anymore. And this is a little tricky as well because, well, I guess it won't be too bad. This just has to switch to a get WebSocket function call. And value is not falsy, so we said that it shouldn't send a message to the timer owner. Let's read through this test. I'm not sure that's actually what I want it to be. So let's see. So we set up some initial statistics generator stuff. So alright, so given a set of connections, we just set up some defaults so they look real. Message all users of a timer. And we got like a message in here as well. Jeez, let me clean this up. That doesn't have to be lines. Alright, I get the impression this test is like kind of weird, because we have this like should message. Oh, I see. It's building up 5 of them, and then 5 that it shouldn't message. So let's just say const like a messenger connection. And that's going to be a connection dot make send on dot fake and target timer. There, so this is the guy that's going to send the message. So let's add him or her. Let's not be discriminatory to my digital users. All right, and we get a list of all the timer IDs as well. Our initial state is message the timer. So let's not use should message at all. Let's use messenger. Yeah, okay. My brain was wondering why that looked weird. Messenger. Messenger. Yeah. Let's go with messenger. It's not really like a messenger. It's not sending the mess. It's not like handing the message through. It's just like sending it. So I don't know. Stuff's hard. All right. So we send a message timer, and that is from the messenger connection.get WebSocket, and it's going to messenger connection.timer ID. And what else? Let me actually send the message as well. So first we make sure that it doesn't modify the state at all. It's not changing connections, it's not changing statistics, presumably. And we know that it should be running a thunk. Right, so if we open up update wholesale here, and we do message timers, so yeah, we just run this thunk. There's nothing else going on. It does, however, try and update statistics. I almost want to separate that to like a separate action. You know what we're gonna do? We're here, and this will be a fun exercise. So enumerize is another library I wrote that's kind of like an enumerable type from Elm. So you can like set up actions with a set of parameters that they take, and then you can specify their types. And I don't know, it's kind of neat. Alright, so specifically what we want is like update statistics from message. So we know the message is actually going to be a string. Right now I have it set as an any. Maybe we'll keep doing that just for consistency. So maybe we'll have like a middleware that parses messages ahead of time, maybe. So we know that we're going to have a timer ID, which is a string, and then the data. And we don't really care about the WebSocket that it came from. That's not a big deal. So with that in mind, actually this is kind of neat, so I'm gonna do a yarn dev, because this is one of those things that I really liked about developing my Numerize library is, so now that I've added a new case in here, if I save this, it's actually going to break the server and be like, hey, you know, your enumeration like should have all these things, and either you didn't provide a default or one of these is missing. So we're missing update statistics for message. So let's go on down here and we're going to do update statistics for message, and we know we're going to get a timer ID and a message. And I'm going to kind of just copy message timer for the most part. And then we're going to strip out all the things that actually rely on sending things to anything really. So we know we don't need to message anybody, so this is just no effects. And we know we're just updating statistics, which means that up here, this can just be state now, because statistics are not going to be updated. And here we don't care about the WebSockets. There we go. So now we've isolated that piece, which means our test is going to be way simpler. And now the server is technically happy to start. I mean, it doesn't know about any of the new stuff that we're doing yet, but that's okay. So we're going to go to our test. We're going to get rid of this like make statistics. We don't need that. We don't need to build up a bunch of statistics as part of our initial state. Cool. And so that means we actually need to run two effects. So we've got our thunk, so we're going to do effects.batch, and we're going to say we're going to do a couple things. So the first one is we still want to send out all of our stuff, but we can also do action.update statistics for message. Here we can pass along the timer ID and the message. So again with FERP, this is going back quite a while ago, but like all messages are just side effects, which kind of simplified a lot of the internal logic. So with that, we should be able to just pass this through, and then update statistics is going to run the very next like tick or whatever. Which means that we can actually capture that too, which is nice. So we know that our effect.type is going to be a batch type. Oops. Now these are symbols, so you actually have to compare them this way. And let's see, what's going to be the good or the easy way to capture this. Yeah, also we have time codes, that's nice. So with batch, so let's just open up FERP here, so we can look at the source. And so if we go into the core effects, we see batch. Batch has a type, and then effects as an array. So likewise, we can say, we know we're going to get our I guess we'll say batched effects. We'll say that. This is going to be effect.effects. And here we could actually say effects. We want to do a fancy destructure, which I don't know if it makes it read any better. But we know for sure that if we were to run, this should be an is. So we can say T is batched effects. So our first thing, we know the type is going to be the same as effects.thunk. Actually, I can probably just do a thunk like that. We'll see. .type. And we know our second one is going to be a call to action.update statistics from message with a timer ID of target timer and a message of whatever our message is. Now if we were to run batched effects 0 dot method, and I see we need to call that like a function as well. Batched effects 1 is apparently different than the call to this. Oh, because it has different. Okay, well that's easy. We can just convert it to value of. I can't remember what value of is going to give us, but I think it'll give us something comparable. Oh, okay, there we go. Nice, so that's gonna let us extract out like parameters and all sorts of things, so that's good. Nice, and then so here we don't need to slice off anything. We can just say all the should messages should have gotten a message. And all of the shouldn't message along with the original messenger. So connection falsy. We don't need that anymore. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so value is not falsy, so apparently it sent messages to a bunch of timers in spite of the fact that it shouldn't have. So let's see why that is. So when we look for WebSockets, if it belongs to a different timer, or it's a WebSocket that sent the message, then we don't include that WebSocket. Otherwise we do. So this looks like this should be a filter. Maybe a map filter? I guess at that point it's reduce. Okay, that's what's going on. So I'm doing a filter, but then also only grabbing the WebSockets from the collection. But that could easily just be connections. I mean, the loop isn't that bad. Okay, let's change this, and I think that's going to make our lives easier. So connections is the state connections filter. Connection, and then basically, so let's just do const, let's say return connection.timer ID. It's timer ID, so we'll keep it if it has the right timer ID, and there's an or in this case. I think it's an and. No, an or. Or connection.get WebSocket, not WebSocket. Okay, so now we have our connections, and now we're saying connections.forEach connection, and inside each connection, we'll just multi-line this to make it a little more readable. Connection.get WebSocket, send message. No, still not happy with that. So let's well, let's see what what connections we get from here. So we're gonna say message timer connections. So we're gonna report things like timer ID, want connections, but we're gonna have to map this out, otherwise it's gonna try and dump out all the WebSocket information. That's gonna make this pretty useless. So we're gonna say connections map connection. And here we care about ID. Let's just extract the things that we care about. Say ID, timer ID. Yeah, that's really about it. Now we'll change this to COD ID. Then in general, I think we'll have to do a JSON, JSON stringify null2. Is that enough? Just so we don't have any like weird namespace things. And so many linter issues. What's no sequences, unexpected use of comma operator. Right, let's close this test for a second. I feel like I'm just missing something. Sure am. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's our map. That's our stringify, so I'll do null2 here. Okay, cool. And then this probably just doesn't like that we're doing a return right away. So we can do that and then get rid of the reduce initializer. Now what's interesting is this this seems to think that maybe message isn't being used. But I would disagree with that. Okay, there we go. It was just because it was JavaScript errors. Classic. Alright, so it still thinks that we're messaging people that we shouldn't be. So we're going to just run this specifically. So update dot test.js. Then we're going to do a dot only on the test that's failing. Okay, so it is matching everybody. So is it an and that I want? I guess so. Ah, that list looks better. Now there's still some falsy values going on here, which is strange. That's all everyone that shouldn't be messaged plus the messenger. In fact, we could just no, that should be fine. Well, I guess what we could do is here, where are we logging stuff? I guess it's here. So we do know the WebSocket, so let's just say source. It's going to be state.connections.find get WebSocket, same as WebSocket. So basically I just want to know where the source is coming from, right? So let's do source is going to be ID is going to be source.id, and then con timer ID is going to be source.timer.id. I'm going to read ID of undefined. Okay, so apparently it couldn't find that WebSocket. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It would help if I actually wrote my test correctly. This is the importance of writing good tests. Alright, there we go. So that was the problem. So let's get rid of that console log, and we don't need the source anymore. And rerun that test, and then we shouldn't see any output, so that's good. And close update for now. And what is going on here? Oh, I see. It's just some Git stuff. That's okay. We're gonna clean all this stuff up. Got a max length, so let's clean that up as well. Cool. All that looks pretty good now. So let's get rid of that dot only. Run all the tests. Cool. So now it can remove an old connection. So get WebSocket isn't a function. Yeah. So I think this is just another one of those. We build up a bunch of fake connections, but they're not real connections. So we're gonna say connection. Connection.make. We're going to pass the WebSocket in, a timer ID, and it is the owner. Now we've got some statistics being built up again. Yeah, I mean, technically, if there's only one connection, it should remove that old thing. Let's split this out a little bit. So let's do const initial state. Oh, I see. So I do have it saying that it's going to delete that. But let's put initial state in like isolation, so it's a little easier to read what's going on. Okay, now with that, I think everything's going to just work. Nope. So, it does not contain these. Interesting. Okay, this could have been something where I shelled out the statistics again. Let's see. So if we go to remove connection. So that doesn't update statistics. And it probably should. So set the timer ID. Yeah, we also need like a update statistics from message. Let's do a update statistics from connections. So this is just going to be timer ID. And then we can kind of figure out any math that we need to do with this. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to not include statistics here. I bet that's gonna, oh, still doesn't pass it, still add statistics. Oh, right, because I didn't save this file. Oh yeah, that's probably gonna fail too for different reasons. So let's add that action. So we're gonna say, let's make it update statistics from connections. This is just going to be for a specific timer ID. And we know at the end of the day, it's going to be effects.none. And we're going to do something with like the statistic state. So let's just do state statistics, which for now is going to be state.statistics. But we're going to do something with it. In fact, let's actually grab this, and we're just going to say the const connections is going to be state.connections.filter connection, and we want anywhere where connection.timer ID. It's in that timer ID. That's a pretty long line though, so let's Let's do that and that. And oof, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we're gonna do with that in a second. But this is extract statistics, probably not the right thing anymore. Okay, so anyway, that's not being used yet, and that should be fine. So we're going to rerun this. So we're removing an old connection. It still thinks that we're adding statistics. So remove connection. That's just connections. So let's do the old yarn test reset cache and RMRF node modules cache. For some reason, Ava occasionally just is not very happy about removing cache. We still get an empty statistics, so that's interesting. I am intrigued. Oh, you know why? It's probably because my initial assertions are wrong. Yeah, so I've got this empty statistics going in here as well. Yeah, okay. I was just misreading that. Alright, now removing an old connection. So initially we were saying that this wouldn't produce any side effects. But looking over here, it actually does a couple things. So it closes the WebSocket, or ensures that it gets closed. And it also sets the timer owner, if available. And it should also do the old action.update statistics from connections. Timer ID. Cool. So all those things seem like the right things to be doing. So when we remove a connection, we know that effect is not going to be this. Instead, it's going to be roughly the equivalent of effects.batch. Let's see if this works. I'm not 100% sure if it will. This would be effects. Probably won't because of this thunk, which is why I should shell these out to methods, I guess. But okay, yeah, let's do a T is, and then we'll say effect.type is going to be the same as effects.batch type. So we know it's a batch, and we know it's going to be three things: a thunk, and set timer owner, and then update statistics. So if we did const effects as like batched effects with effect.effects, T is batched effects. 0 type is going to be effects.thunk type, and we can probably run this too and make some assertions on it. Yeah, because we're actually going to want to close or run close on it. So let's just do a so now our first thing is going to be a thunk, and let's see, our second thing we can do deep equal speed batched effects 1 dot value of. That's going to be a long line, I just know it. So let's do auto2 action dot set timer owner timer ID. And we can do the same for this last one, deep and then yeah, I guess we need to run that effect and just validate that it closes that socket, which say thunk effect is going to be batch effects 0.method. We know td equal thunk effect is ultimately going to result in effects.none as described about here. And then we also know that we should be able to make an assertion that t is, I just want to say truthy. And this would be websocket.close.called once with exactly which I guess is not called with anything, so let's see how it goes. Ooh, it's not happy with that. Cannot read property 0 if undefined. Okay, so batch defects isn't being assigned the way I think it is. Am I crazy? So we get our effect out of this. We know for sure that it's a batch because it passes this test. Why don't we just do one of these batch? I thought it was effect.effects. Effects is back. Oh, did I flip the two? Am I destructured? Oh, I did a dot effects and a weird destructure at the same time. Cool. Okay, and did I pick the wrong thing for remove? Oh yeah, that should be from connections. Oh yeah. Making progress. It's been an hour of just fixing my own tests, which I guess should be a sign. But you know, you need good tests when you're writing software that other people are using, so it's just how it is. Anyway, let's see. So cannot a new connection. So let's sort of this test. I think some of these should be split out. These are like pretty heavy tests, and it's not even that bad. I think it's just that I don't really have a nice interface for testing FERP effects, which maybe I should do something about that, I guess. Alright, well, can add a new connection. So let's see what adding a new connection looks like. So here we're doing some statistic updates again. Let's not do that. Instead, let's do effects. Batch. This would be I see that's a specific effect. Okay, that's not a big deal. This would be action dot update statistics from connections again with the timer ID. Bless you, Rufus. Dogs. Yeah, exactly. And I've said this to a couple people, but with Mobtime, like, it sort of started off as like not a real project. It was just something to like at work help us get by on on this whole coronavirus working from home thing, and we all work collaboratively with timers quite a bit. So I was like, I'll just kind of like fill this in. I'm sure something better is going to come along. And as it turns out, nothing really better came along, and people started using this not from vehicles. So I was like, oh, okay, well, once I get kind of past the initial spike, I'll get some tests, and now I'm kind of past that initial spike. So yeah, it's working pretty well though. In general, I'm pretty happy. Oh, that's fun. So I'll have an ID that doesn't match, but I think I can. I think there's a t.like, which will, for the most part, work out for me. Yeah. Okay, so let's not include statistics in this. And let's get like a initial state in here. For this test, all we care about is connections being empty. Here we can say t-like state.connections 0, and we can say it's like kind of like expected. And I say that, but I think we can do something like ID expect. So this is like kind of gross. But just like ripping the ID out of there, just so there's no, no overlap. So if we run that, I think that'll. So like connection 0 expected. So difference was we got two different get WebSocket methods, which I guess makes sense. The isOwner was incorrect because there wasn't a timer. We didn't associate this as being the owner, but it would be the owner because there's no other connections. Actually, we should use set timer owner on here, and then assume that isOwner is initially false, and then we can always fix it. Cool. And then isOwner is yeah, that makes sense. So let's get rid of that now. So we're saying by default it's not the owner, and then we figure out if it is afterwards. Then we got some enumeration issues here. So initially I said that this wouldn't generate any effects, but that's not quite true anymore. You know, in fact, it does these two. So we're going to say effect.type is the same as effects.batch.type. And so what can we make assertions on here? So we can say is effect. I was gonna say like we ensure that it's only two effects, but it's not really that big of a deal. So it's like const effects as a batched effects equals effect. So we'll extract that out once we know for sure it's a batch. We say tdeep equal. These are just two actions. Those actions can be tested individually now too, which should be nice. So the first one, effects 0.value of, because we know
becomes an action. We're going to say that should be the same as action.set timer owner for timer ID. And the second one is going to be update statistics from connections for that particular one as well. Cool. This is kind of going off to other tests as well. Part of me wants to split this out a little bit too. So we're going to close this and we're going to make a couple new files. So this is going to be update.connections.test.js. Oh, we've actually got like some specific ones for remove connection. Alright, we'll probably combine these. Alright, so I'm going to just grab all the stuff I'm pretty sure we need. Cool. And then I want to see what's inside remove connection. So we've got a couple tests in here. I'll keep these separate for now, and then once we get them running, we'll decide, because I think some of these have some old conditional logic that isn't the same anymore. Well, you know what? Let's just read through these. So I'm going to open up remove over on the left, just so we can see. So it can remove an old connection. So we call that, and then we build up a brand new real state, so we can remove that particular connection. So I feel like that test isn't real anymore because we actually run three effects. Cannot remove if timer ID does not match. I don't know that we actually care about that. Like, there's no code on here that supports that. So I feel like we can clear this out. Sets owner to the next oldest connection. So that's a separate test now, so it really feels like we could do one of these. Oops. Ugh. Sometimes I forget my my shortcuts, and instead of looking silly, I just reopen Vim. Oops. Alright, let's get back here to the connections test. And we have like a regular one here, which we have like initialize, and then we've got like some message all users in a timer. We have a message owner thing. Get the impression that we could just do a message all users in the timer as well. Actually, I don't want to do coverage yet. I want to get all these tests ready first. I'm going to leave this test here for now. I think, like, if I go into that action, so let me just work my way down, message timer. So we've got like a little bit of logic in here, but honestly, there's no like real conditional stuff. It's just like filter the right connections. And same with message timer owner. In fact, that makes me wonder if message owner is, it's just like one or two tests, and it's not really that big of a deal. Send message just to the timer owner if the originator is the owner. Sends a message to just the timer owner. Yeah, and these are almost like end-to-end tests because I build up like a real state. get some Linter stuff out of the way. I don't know that I mean, I will keep these tests, but I might have to rethink them a little bit. So it looks like we don't care about that or that. So nope, we do care about Synon. Weird. Alright, so messaging the okay, well we're actually here anyway. So so we had 2 WebSockets. Actually, that reminds me. Let's go here and let's do an import star from connection, or sorry, as connection from connection, and then over here, let's just do a connection make. And we know things like, we know what the WebSocket is, we know the timer ID, and we don't need to set anything about the ownership. Alright, so one thing is I don't like that we're building up a full real state. We can just deal with the things that we know are true, or at least limited in scope. With this, let's do an import star as connection from connection. Let's get rid of make state, and let's do a test dot only on here first. So we'll set this up, yarn test, let's be source, and then it's going to be update message owner.test.js. Cool. So I only ran the one and it failed because it's trying to set up a state that doesn't exist, which is fine. So now in this case we care about connections, and we need to make 2 connections here. So we're going to say connection.make owner WebSocket and timer ID, and it sounds like this guy's the owner. And what we know in this case, it's going to be false. Okay, and so let's see what our test says. So it says everything's good there. So let's actually confirm that's true. So message timer owner finds the timer owner, and as long as yeah, we just say arbitrarily message the timer owner. We don't even have anything that's like by the way, oh never mind, here down here in the thunk we actually say, oh you know, if as long as they aren't the same as the connection we're sending the message to. So that's fun. Let's also call this the owner. So if there's an owner and the owner WebSocket is not our WebSocket, then owner. Naming is important. Alright, so let's see. So let's actually call that effect. Cool, so let's get rid of this dot only. Okay, and then we're back down to creating a proper initial state. So let's do that. Alright, and then we know that these two can, oops, let's use the right Vim shortcut, there we go. So it looks like again we have someone that is the owner and someone that is not. it doesn't send a message to the owner if the person that sent the message is the owner. This just says that they are both falsy, so that's cool. Oops. There we go. Typing's really hard. Alright, so with those pass, let's go back to test that whole suite. Alright, we're getting there. We only have 2 failing tests now, so I feel pretty good about that. And update.statistics, I think, is going to be an important one anyway, because I think we're going to add some more methods. Okay, so we got to make mob or make goal. Okay, let's get rid of make state. I've already talked about not really liking that anyway. So intercepts, goals, update. So while that's true, I don't think we need to do the interception anymore. Now we just have like update statistics from message. So we can just say update statistics. I guess test it updates statistics from let's say mobber statistics from message. I think there'll be a couple of these, so and we know the timer ID, which is going to be timer ID. And we know statistics should look vaguely like connections 0, mobbers 0, and goals 0. So if we update goals and we make some sort of random collection of them, and then we pass that through update statistics from a message, we don't need the WebSocket anymore, which is nice. Now we just have a timer ID and the message. Yeah, we know we should get that. So let's see if alright, so we have some different intercepts in here still. So I'm going to just run this file just for the sake of sanity. So we're going to say source update statistics.test.js. Am I crazy? Why isn't it running this test? So if I do a dot only on that. Okay, so that does work. Yeah, we can also pull the effect up here too. Let's rerun that again. Cool. Yeah, I say mobber statistics, but this is actually goals. And I think this next one is really going to be a copy. And let's change which thing it's updating. I don't even think that these really need to be things. They just need to like exist. Like we're not tracking things about like how complete these are. So I'm gonna just remove those. and as part of this, it's just going to be a bunch of empty objects. It doesn't matter. So we'll go down here and sort of do the same. Let's change that to mob. It's mob update, and now we know that should be mobbers, and this should be goals 0 because we're not updating those. Cool, and now if I run everything, all tests are passing, so I'm gonna, oops, actually I want to do coverage after clearing a cache. So I've been finding too with Ava and NYC, which I don't know if it's a shortcoming of which framework, but if I don't clear all the cache all the time, sometimes it just misses a bunch of these coverage things. So I don't know what I think about that, but right, so it looks like, alright, actions wouldn't have anything covered, but update, we've got most of it covered. We have something on line 24 that isn't. In fact, I know like statistics from connections is also not good. So actually we could do connections. I think that's actually all this is. But on top of that, we want to remove statistics if we don't have any connections, because that means that timer's dead. So we can do something like const, let's say like stats. So if connections length is greater than 0, then we know it ends up being something like default and what was previously there. So this is going to be multi-line for sure. And then connections will be connections dot length. Then otherwise, actually, how do I? Ugh. You know, we're gonna have to do something like this. So this is what our default is, but I sort of don't like doing extra work for no reason. So we're gonna say const. We're gonna take a timer ID as old, and then statistics equals state.statistics. Okay, so now we have statistics here. We can't have it here either. But what we can do is, oops, so be like augment, would be connections lengths. So if we have connections, then we know we can do something like timer ID old, and then also connections dot length. And then I don't know why that's indented by default, but otherwise we don't augment it at all. And then this just becomes const statistics is going to be all the graph statistics, and then whatever's in augment, which could be just an empty object. Oh, right, I remember why it's working like that now. So let's put this up because it's longer than I thought it was. And I think we still end up should like do something like default statistics. That's like just a polyfill. I can't imagine when that wouldn't already have the right stuff in it, but I don't know. So we'll just play it that way. And so anyway, if we looked at update and we see that line 24 isn't covered, so let's go there first. So line 24 is if we had anything that isn't goals update or mob update. Honestly, I don't think that there's a default here, but yeah, I mean, just for fun. Updates, no statistics from unknown message. And I mean, that could be like food bar in here. Who cares? And we know at the end of the day, it should not change any of the statistics. So that should get rid of line 24. Nice. So 131. Oh, nice. So this is the update connection stuff. So we're going to go to update.statistics for now. Test, and we'll just say updates connection count. With latest number. I don't know what to truly call this, but essentially, like if we do have connections, then we want to keep the statistics there. So we'll start off with 0, and this time we don't have the message. This will be update from connections, and our initial state we will put in connections. And we'll just do a connection.make. We don't care about the WebSocket, but we do care about the timer ID. And that should produce a, actually we could probably just do a deep, so I want just statistics, but we will do a timer ID here, just to prove that our timer ID actually exists the way that we think. And let's see, we need import star as connection from connection here. We got a long line. Nope, message isn't defined. Oh, well, that's fine. We don't. Who needs a message? Cool. And that might work. Come on, big money, no whammies. Okay, we're a little further. So now we're down to 162, which I'm pretty sure is, oh, strangely enough, it's a different thing. But we're going to test the other case anyway. So I have had issues with Ava not reporting some of these lines still. So we'll say removes timer statistics when there are no connections. So we're just gonna do that, and we'll set this initially there was one before, and now we're technically removing one, and now statistics should just be a nice empty. Oh, still passes, so that's cool. So the next one is 162. So set timer owner. Which we don't have a test for, so we're gonna I'm gonna copy maybe the default test here, just so I can be a little lazy. So we'll call this timer owner test.js. And we just need one test in here, and probably not nearly all this. probably didn't need to copy a test because I just ended up deleting most of it. Alright, so we are going to call set time owner. And from there, we're going to have none of that. We're just going to have a timer ID. And it looks like we want to find the first connection of that timer. Almost makes me wonder if... yeah, that's probably a nice thing to cache. I was going to say, do we need this? We could check to see if they... if the index of a timer is 0. But I think then I need to splinter connections into like an object of arrays. I don't know if that's going to be like a huge benefit. Yeah. I don't know. Oh god, target timer. Let's change that to timer ID. It's going to make my life easier. Okay, and we want to set the timer owner on this, which means we need to have a at least one connection. Now, my understanding is that we are potentially running a method here. Oh, thanks Mobtime, sorry, Mob Mentality for liking and retweeting. I don't know if either Chris or Austin you're joining, but if so, hello. By the way, if you don't listen to their podcast, do that. Mob Mentality. You can find them on Twitter. Very lovely group of gentlemen. Anyway, so it looks like we do send a message. So let's just do const WebSocket. It's going to be like send fake. That'll be enough to make it look like a WebSocket. And they're going to be part of the time ID here. And we know that this shouldn't... oh, it does actually change. So let's, I guess that is set to false initially. So our state should not be initial state at all. So what we can do is say t is state.connections 0, because we don't change the order at all. We know is owner should be set to true, and they are otherwise the same. So in fact, we could do something like, we could deep equal it. Let's get rid of that. Oops. This one. There we go. And we're just going to extract this. We're going to say, just to make it a little easier, and we're going to say connection, but we're going to change is owner to true. Excuse me. Cool. So technically we made a failing test, but it's not true TDD. I mean, we're just backfilling at this point. But oh yeah, let's change the name of this test too, because that's wrong. So what is this test like? It updates the first connection of a timer to be the owner, which is technically the oldest because we always add new connections to the end of the array, and we never reorder those connections, so this should be fine. And we know we do want to do a batch, so that does resolve some of this. Alright, and then we know the first thing is going to be send ownership, but I think there's a thing where I can't do a deep equal on this still. I should really really change how thunks work so you can pass a function and arguments separately. Because then I could probably do that. But then I have to. I don't know if that would actually be a good idea. Ugh. All right. Well, we know that the first thing is sort of a thunk. So if we go into, I think this is under WebSocket, so we have send ownership, and this is just a method that gets turned into a thunk. And I separated this, but it could probably be inlined. I thought it would be easier if it wasn't, but I'm not convinced anymore. But we know that we send this message. So it looks like, I think we actually send it a bunch of times. So for each, first the, to the owner that, hey, you're the owner now, and then everyone else saying, no, you're not the owner. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and then close that. Sort of wish that there was an easy way for me to like assert which effect it was, and then separately test that. Oh man, I don't have enough tea. I'm used to having like a lot more coffee. Like my my coffee drinking motion, just right on. Alright, so anyway, so we thunk, and our first thing isn't an action. In fact, most of this is not true anymore, so let's delete that. And let's actually make a couple connections here. Now this one we don't really care that much about. Yeah, we'll just say other connection, just to know that they're not the leader. Is there any advantage to? No, not really. Let's just do this. Alright, and this one sets the timer owner, so we know this is going to become the owner, like future owner. So these can be false, and then not owner. And what we can do, so we know that each one of these bash things is really a thunk. So that's going to be the easy way to do this. So we know there's going to be 2 in this case. So also I don't like this ampersand. Alright, so we know in this case this is now going to be a future owner. It is now the owner. And we also know based on the connection order. I guess we sort of know what they're going to be sent, but I'd rather do something like effects dot for each. This would be T is fx.type is going to be fx.thunk. I think I can just empty it as long. I don't know that it actually cares about type I pass in there. So we know that each one's a thunk, and as long as it's a thunk, then we can do fx.method and just call it. And at the end here, we can just say future owner.getWebSocket dot send called exactly, or called once with exactly. type is going to be like, oh geez, I even forget what that type was. Timer, ownership. And then is owner true because this guy's the owner. So that is we'll just say like owner message is gonna be stringify. Jeez. Alright, so we know what the owner message looks like, and we know what the not owner message looks like. Nice and easy, I hope. I'm going to say T truthy. And then I'm going to do yips. This will be not owner. Cool. I guess that's like just a long line. Oh, it's actually just complaining with the comment angle. Nice. Alright, so hopefully that clears up. Yeah, we just have line 164 now. That is, if it can't find the owner for that, then we just bail early. So we're going to say test does nothing, or does not update a timer owner if there are no connections to that timer. Should be nice and easy. I'm just going to grab most of that. And we know that effect is going to be effects.none. So that's nice and easy. And we also know T is state is going to be the same as the initial state. And we're going to pick just a different timer. So these guys are fine. We're going to say I don't know what you want to call this, like the main timer ID, and we're just going to make that something like timer ID dash math.random, so we know it's just going to be something else. And I guess just for the sake of sanity, we could do toString 36, which isn't really for sanity, but it should just give us something a little more substantial. And this could be a main timer ID. And I did put a semicolon at the end here. Cool. So that feels pretty good. And these actions I still have some cases I haven't covered, and I've got some conditionals that I don't know how to manage initially. I'll have to figure something out. And the effects I've just skipped for now because they're all basically the same. Run time would be pretty easy to do though, but I think we're at a good stopping point where we can say, what did I change about package.json? Oh, okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're gonna say full test coverage of all the server update code. Alright, so let's push that up, and all of our tests should pass. So if I go back over here in a second, these should pop up. And I guess we'll watch node 12 because that's what I'm using. I'm testing with node 14 as well because I think that's going to be my eventual migration path because that'll be the next LTS. So I'm not gonna actually, whoa. Did I somehow mistype something? It's weird that this worked and then I guess I did a reset, or maybe a file got saved that wasn't saved before. Weird. Okay, let's do, let's do whole reset and run it with coverage again, and then we're just going to do a regular run as well, because now I'm a little concerned that didn't get picked up initially. Alright, so we're just going to amend this. Actually, I got a shortcut. Let's do that. Cool. And then we're going to do git push. Do I have a shortcut for that? No. And I have to do the old. Oh, no, I'm going to do something worse with this. Yay. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this one, so let's come back over here. And we'll just watch version 12. I mean, either one is fine, but. Nice. It's weird that it limits the height of this with a scroll bar. But I guess it makes it easier to read. Alright, well. That's cool. And 14 passes as well. I didn't expect to see any difference there, but nice. Alright, so there's a handful of like manual tests that like I've been doing now. And it's a little painful. My hair's starting to like go to the point where in my headphone eventually just like tickles my ear. I need a barber. Anyway, let's open up that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. And sure, friendly G. Let's actually make it grass. Just just for my own sanity's sake. Okay, so some things. We're the timer owner. This is new too. For anyone that hasn't checked out the new the dev version, we've got some sounds. I don't think you'll be able to hear them through the stream, but it's an annoying pneumatic horn. So I have a link to it here. It's pretty great. Anyway, we're just gonna do some basic tests. So with just with a 1 minute timer with no other connections. Let's add some mobbers in here too. So 1, 2, and 3. So basically when the timer is done, we should see these guys rotate. Now unfortunately I designed it so it was not possible to do less than a minute for a cycle, which makes a lot of sense. I don't think any mobbing team would would want that, but it sucks for testing. So gotta sit through this. Yep.
most exciting part about this stream, I'm sure. Alright, come on, big money, no whammies. Cool, so it rotated, I got a notification, and let's just, oh, I shouldn't have X'd that. Oh, so I actually got 2 notifications, so that's not good. So let's refresh this. Let's and we don't care about images. We don't WebSocket though. Let's just see if we can see what's going on here. So I'm getting all sorts of messages. So why am I getting all of these? So I'm the only connection, and I shouldn't be able to answer my own questions, basically. So if I connect and I push this out, so that is incoming. Okay, so that I sent that there's no goals. Oh geez. Okay, so I said there's a new client, and it got pushed back to me, so that shouldn't happen. Okay, so that would be here, but I mean the timer owner. Sure, message timer owner. What? Oh, yeah, right, because I have it open over here. So a couple things happen when we're sending stuff. So let's just see what happens when we connect someone and we say set the timer owner as expected, and also update statistics from connections. Oh, so that doesn't use that, so let's go with that. Ugh. Come on here, work with me. Wait, default. Oh, right, because default. No, that should be 0. Let's fix that. So when I add a new connection, let's go from the client side and just see what happens here. So we're going to subscriptions, and when we get a new WebSocket, we attempt to connect. And once we connect, so inside there, we set our WebSocket, then we do broadcast join. And that runs the broadcast join effect. And that just says, hey, I'm a new client. And then that in turn messages the timer owner. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking through all the steps that should be happening. So if we follow from this side, let's go down to WebSocket. So when a new WebSocket is connected, now another thing is maybe the client doesn't send this, because this seems like a special case. And we could do this automatically from this side.
And the nice thing about it is because I have an instance of this connection, I know if they are the owner or not. Oh, wait. So, So maybe it's okay that the client sends this message just for fun. So if we didn't do anything there temporarily, watching the network tab, and apparently nothing on the WebSocket front. But that's not quite true because it should be sending something still. Did I like cause an error? No WebSocket messages. That doesn't make any sense. So we're definitely sending the WebSocket message. Something isn't adding up here. So on connect, we do a broadcast join. Let's see, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So with these WebSockets, I sort of want to split it out from being the connection to like the get WebSocket method and then the timer. So we don't care about anything else that could change. All right, we're gonna do a couple changes here, then we'll check coverage after. So the big one is going to be here. So rather than connection, let's do connection on get WebSocket as a method, and also connection.timer ID. Yeah, well, that would have been broken anyway. So it's good that we found that. Wait, what is the problem here? Arrow expected no return value. Okay, well, let's bring this back. Well, that would have also failed, so that's weird. One of those, why does this work, and then how did this ever work? Alright, so it's kind of weird is not seeing that WebSocket connection come through at all. and that concerns me. I don't think I changed anything that would affect a connection like that. Oh wait, here we got get WebSocket as in a function. Well, I mean, with send ownership, that should be fine. It says WebSocket line 4. Well, that should certainly be real. So let's try this again. Weird. Okay, so we sent up. I'm a new client, and then I also started the timer, so it sent that information. Let's just try this again. So it sent up a new client, but it didn't try and send it back down. So that's good, and then we'll. I'm basically out of time too, so this is just some bonus manual testing until I can figure out a nice way to test some of these flows. Yep. How's everyone's afternoon going? I didn't even ask that this mob. I was just like this stream. Everyone doing good? All two of you? Alright, so my hope is that I only get one notification, which it might show up on my other monitor. But I only got one notification, so that's good. So I'm going to duplicate this tab. And so now both these should be like mostly synced. So it says that there's one person in the mob, but I believe that to be a lie. Oh, we've got like a weird null in here. Why do we have a null in the mob? Apparently I sent that. Oh, must be something about cycle. Can add in a null user. That seems wrong. Let's see why that is. Oh yeah, so that could be a null. Yep. So here we can do something like if state.mob.length 0. Then don't do anything. There's nothing to do. That's just a state update. Cool. So we're gonna refresh both of these. Actually, I think I'm gonna close. Let's close this one, refresh, just so we're like up to date. And I'm not going to bother putting in any mob information yet. We're just gonna start. This hair, it's getting to me. Oh, 2 people from YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. Which I guess one is you, Wolfgang, but got another human. And someone from Twitch too. Who's on? I'm just like, I just want to poke around, figure out who's on first, so to speak, because I got like 25 seconds to burn, you know. All right. Apparently Twitch is just not cooperating with me. That's okay. Let's presume that maybe we'll just refresh, because I think weird stuff happens if I don't. Alright, well I got one notification, that's good. No new mobbers, that's also good. Let's just duplicate this tab. And I'm also going to add the sound effect, simply so I can hear it. And this time we're still going to run just these two guys with empties, because I'm not sure if maybe that had something to do with sending information over. I'm going to start the timer on this tab. Doesn't matter, it'll sync up. Alright, and let's see. Oh, Twitch, you're having a bad time today. What's going on? Twitch status. Just trying to, find out some information about my my people. Let's see. Twitch status says everything's fine, but also let's see. Let's say it's today the 20th, 22nd. Apparently, Twitch is working fine, but at the same time, it's not. Jeez, that pneumatic horn really got me. Okay, so I got two notifications, which makes sense because there's two tabs. There's no extra mobbers. Now, if we do 1, 2, 3, just so we can see that rotation, as long as that works, then I would call today's thing a success. In fact, this might be a merge and deploy, which is exciting. Yep. Look at this timer go. This is real happening stuff. Geez, even the mobile app's like really dying. And it doesn't look like Twitch is aware that there's a problem, so that one scared me less. Alright, so it looks like we have rotation the way we expected, and it's also rotated over here as expected. Let's just do a few. I don't know if I've ever tested settings syncing. I guess I have because of the duration. Let's just see, make sure that's true. Yay! Alright. So we're going to say, so under source, what do we do here? Oh, okay, so just WebSocket actually had a handful of bugs that, because it's a subscription, it's kind of tough to figure out how to test that, but yeah, so we're just going to say fixed some bugs around WebSocket subscription, and then also removed unused import in update.js, and then also removed default connections 1 from default statistics. And then this would be fix bug in timer cycling when mob is empty. Cool. And let's just see if we broke anything. We didn't break anything, but I think the test coverage is going to be lower. Oh yeah, here's another example. I was like, it's kind of missing some files now, but if I do a yarn test reset cache and rf node modules cache, there we go. So now we get all Yeah, so now we have like line 320 that's uncovered here. Line 6 is never going to be covered. That's just how it is. But you know what? Let's fix it. We're here. Alright, so we'll say cannot cycle an empty mob. Empty mob. And then we know the state shouldn't have changed, so we can use is. And in fact, there's no effect with that. Okay, so hopefully we should see 320 get covered. Yay! Alright. Actually, what, is that my last commit? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so hopefully go over here to this PR and we'll see this next batch test run. And as long as they all pass, then I think this is a merge. Just make sure all these commits are like semi-isolated. Here, 900 millisecond offset. Yeah, extract, calculate time remaining from time remaining component. Back to near 100% action test coverage. Isolated enough. So I think these will be a rebase once things are done. Oh yeah, I should really tell it to ensure that this passes first. Oh, look at that. Everything passes. Life's good. Oh no, let's not. I want to rebase. Yeah. Alright, so that went into dev. Perfect. So we're gonna do that. Get rid of all those things. Nice. We're back in a clean state. So that is basically everything. Oh, what's going on here? Looks like got some weird scaling things. Whoa. Cool. Thanks for joining me. If you like my content and would like to support me in making content, you can support me at these links. So I got GitHub sponsorship, Patreon. You like how these just like look like trash, right? They're just I don't care. I just threw some stuff on here and it worked. And let's see, if you want to find out more about me or contact me, sorry, I'm just trying to line things up here. That's my website. That's my Twitter handle. And then I also hang out on the HyperApp Slack. But if you go there looking for me, make sure it's also about HyperApp and not about my live streams, because there's talk to me on Twitter if that's what you want to talk to me about. So you're all great and lovely, and I'm gonna go now. Oh, wow.